Welcome back to another chapter of Upcycling the American Dream, the story of Hamilton v. Vortic. I'm RT Custer. Make sure that you stay tuned to the end, where I let you know the best way to follow along and see the next chapter. So at this point, we're late 2018, early 2019, probably a year and a half into the lawsuit, like official lawsuit, several years since we've gotten the cease and desist. All kinds of things were happening to the company. You know, back then we were selling a lot of watches. Like there were custom watches made to order. We had this thing called the Watch Builder, which I might get in trouble just for even mentioning the name of, because it was one of the worst ideas we've had. It's a really cool thing. But we were selling watches before they were made and then making them to order, which is a really stressful thing on the system and on the team. And so overall, like when I think back to like holiday season 2018, from like a revenue standpoint, we were growing, everything was running fairly smooth. And at that point, like Tyler and I had this really cool, boundary set up that we talked about, where it's just like, I'm going to do the lawsuit stuff and try to take the brunt of that and the burden of that. And then, you know, Tyler's making the watches and managing the team and trying to keep the lights on. That was basically the partnership at that point. And we had a ton of hard conversations leading up to the next point of this, because this is where we really had to think about and at least have the conversation about, what if we gave up? You know, what would giving up look like? What would settling look like? Obviously, when you think about it negatively like that, it sucks. When you think about the positives, like the potential side of it, it's like, if we weren't getting sued, if we weren't doing this lawsuit, like how big could we be? How many great things could we have accomplished so far? Like if we didn't have this huge distraction. And so we had all those conversations, and I also had those conversations with our New York-based attorney at that time. This was right after they Hamilton basically no-showed that settlement conference, and they got the slap on the wrist for it and all that stuff. But the vibe I got from those attorneys was that clearly the other side doesn't care. They were coming after us. They weren't going to stop. It doesn't seem like they want to settle. And this looks like it's going to go to trial. And at that point, before I left New York, they told me, they were just like, this is, like we're talking, it's an interesting case, really stressful for us, but like, you know, we're happy to keep helping you, but just so you know, we haven't billed you for half the work we've done so far. And to take it all the way to trial, we're looking at 6 figures worth of legal bills. You know, I took that information home and talked to Tyler, talked to my family, talked to our investors, our advisors, and that's when we started just at least talking about the what ifs. Because this would be now the, second, third, fourth time we would have almost lost everything, and definitely can't afford to keep fighting. So I don't want to say the advice I got was to give up, but a lot of people in my life were dancing around that. They didn't want to give that advice, so they asked questions like, well, what would it look like if you did? What's the backup? What's the plan B? What happens next? What if this? What if that? I don't know if this was the right decision, but that's when I said, okay, well, these attorneys clearly they've given up, so maybe I can find another one. And also, let's explore those other options, as hard as they are to think about. Thanks for watching another chapter of Upcycling the American Dream. It's important to note that all the viewpoints, stories, and facts shared in these chapters are coming from me, myself, and I, Robert Thomas Custer. They are mine alone and are not shared by Vortic LLC, Vortic Watch Company, and its related parties. For our full legal description and our full legal disclaimer, go to vorticwatches.com/victory. You'll also find at that link a special offer and a link to pre-order our upcoming book. Again, vorticwatches.com/victory.